Tanya and Kuroda. How are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty Reborn as Raiden with Unlimited Power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
So, can I say something witty here?
Well done. And what about you, Onodera?
You have a death wish, don't you?
Ahem. Onodera?
Oh, yes, Lady Yae. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it.
That means if this goes down, she's gonna bring all of you along with it.
I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party. Is everyone clear about their assignments? Good. We're running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop chop!
Now, where do I enter in all of this?
Hello,
Oh, god damn it, she noticed me.
I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such
Yeah,
a
me
commission!
too, not just Paimon.
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk.
Yeah, I
from
don't miss you too, yeah.
Let me ask you, little ones. Whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Aren't you the head of all the activities done by people? Surely that means the Grand Narukami Shrine gets involved in it too, right?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all!
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sakoku Decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail. Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural festival.
International.
Distinctly Inazuman, but with a unique twist.
Cultural festival?
I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of
Yeah,
the
we can
Irodori
definitely,
festival.
start from there.
Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the Five Kasen. Every year, one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review, which would then spark culture discussions regarding those works.
Light novel writing has been a business in Inazuma since the very beginning, eh?
Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the Five Kasen. The Irodori festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Indeed. To describe
is
it in the
Inazuma,
words of the
after all,
ancients, it'd
Paimon.
be refined elegance.
Like you said.
Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the Five Kasen and the festival, which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Irodori festival by
Mora?
holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
This has Yae Miko written all over it.
But, wait a minute! Light novels?
What about all the refined elegant stuff you just said?
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage. But
Refined
nowadays,
elegance.
the entertainment format of choice is light novels.
Has surely changed into a money-grabbing business now, eh?
The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past. Don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma?
You know, this sounds all beautiful, but knowing your head, all your smooth talking is just to profit you in some way or some form at the end of the day, which I do not want to be a part of. Yet I think I'll be
besides,
roped into it
it's a great
regardless.
opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to Ultivat through light novels.
Traveler,
As
you
they
and me are
say,
on the
it's
same
two
page.
birds
Sounds
with
like a
one
whole lot of
stone.
thinly veiled self-justifications.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persistence.
That's why you're the traveling companion, and I am the traveler.
Miko, you can't fool us. We know you by now.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
Interesting things and familiar faces, if I can.
Maybe a little.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks.
Do I know who this is?
During the Irodori festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels.
Yeah, considering we're on the topic of light novels, International Cultural Festival, I'm sure we're gonna meet Tincture eventually, right?
Once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of official and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new release parties. This small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the Five Kasen Plaza during the festival, and nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You certainly won't want to miss out.
Wow. How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your
It's like a
typical
mangaka's wet
festival.
dream.
Huh. Miko,
Or worst nightmare, depends upon what kind of mangaka you are.
boards in the center of the plaza.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Those are...
Ah, Lady Yae did mention that there would be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two.
It's been a while since the last time I met you too, Ayato.
At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon.
How's it going, Chris Hackney?
Tell me,
Oh, it's Ayato! Wow, so even a busy guy like yourself is here to attend the Irodori Festival.
Alright, Yae was cut off rudely. Yae hates Ayato with a burning passion. How is this gonna develop?
preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing as Lady Yae has poured her heart and soul into the preparations, I'm obliged to be equally dedicated.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal.
Ayato, run.
We were just about to discuss the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Irodori Festival originated from the Five Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits. This Irodori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku Decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts.
It's a good way to say that the nation is not dead yet and we're finally back to embark on a new dawn.
Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from other nations. For example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt.
Mondstadt, you say?
The Yashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the distinguished guests. However, we fear that staying in a foreign land may feel a little uncomfortable,
I think I can help you there too, considering I'm a familiar face internationally at this point.
which is precisely why
Tell
it would
me,
be
who is
ideal
this
to have
artist
someone
coming from
familiar with
Mondstadt?
both Inazuma and other nations of Tevat to serve as a guide for our guests.
Now this sounds like a commission I want to take.
I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their residence at the International Trade Association, while providing any necessary assistance along the way. This arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
Alright. 2 days before the festival, ship and guests launch passenger ship boards for Mondstadt, a guest, Calyx and his dependent. Second day of the festival, ship and guests launch passenger ship, calligraphers, painters from Liyue, Theater Mechanicus players, and a guest writer, Shinyu, not Qingshu. Third day of the festival, ships and guests, large cargo ships stop over 1 person. 2 days before the festival, the day following the release events, 2 persons.
It's settled then. My, look at the time. I have to meet with my editors, so I must be going now.
See you never.
During the festival, most of the Yae Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
I'd appreciate that, yeah, thanks.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
Alright, take care, you busybodies. Let the renowned traveler do his renowned
The
thingamajiggy.
ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it.
You can at least show me the ship just coming from the horizon, MiHoYo. Come on, it's not that hard.
Hello! You must be here to take part in the Irodori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt. Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of
What are you
late.
thinking, Paimon?
We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
Paimon.
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's Tone-Deaf Bard then?
Probably getting wasted?
Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Do you think he didn't receive an invitation?
Paimon, we didn't check the bar before we came here.
Huh? Why's that?
Well, you know, Wendy's a...
Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon.
No, I was saying that he was getting wasted at Uyu restaurant.
If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not only would it seem a little childish, it would also sort of be shameless of him too.
We got the next best thing,
Miss Honorary Knight,
Get out of there, Clee. Wait, don't trip.
It's Cleve! Were you also invited to the Irodori?
When did you turn into a bard?
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation.
Was my favorite brother and sister up to this time.
But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged
Wait,
for someone
Albedo
here
made
to
you
issue
come
me
with
a
him together?
dependent pass.
That's unusual. Wait, which Albedo is this?
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for the Irodori Festival, I predicted that I might run into you.
And I was kinda expecting you myself, Albedo. For the thought of painting.
I knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the Five Kasen.
I knew it before you.
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx. Oh, by the way, do you know where the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yae publishing house there.
Paimon's a guy, not me.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get going then.
Alright. Go to the International Trade Association. It'd be pretty shameless of him if he just came running at the thought of a festival. Paimon, you really don't know Wendy, probably, do you?
Wow, it's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Albedo, is the bag still packed with bombs? Albedo,
Slow
you're
down,
responsible
please.
for her.
Please be careful not to bump into others.
For their sake.
Telling Clee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea.
So you're the influence, aren't you?
As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived.
Nothing wrong with a little excitement.
Strange. It seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. I'm certain he said that he'd be sure to arrive before me.
What are you thinking?
Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the Five Kasen today. That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
Wait, a riot in Shogun Plushie? I didn't notice that.
You had no idea
Clay,
what you'd be painting
did he kill
before
someone
you
already?
arrived in Inazuma?
I only know of the Five Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information.
Wait, I just realized we're in. Okay, Yoimi is in Hanami Saga. As long as those two don't meet just now,
I'm the
Inazuma
type
is still
of painter who can complete a
gonna
painting
see one day
quickly
at the
as long as
festival
I'm
at least.
inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
So when do the paintings have to be done by?
Yeah, what do they do?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suikou, will need to be done before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute.
Geniuses are born different, aren't they?
Just last month, to ensure the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript.
Well, considering you can make poof out of anything, Albedo, I see how you can do it in the last moment.
I
Alchemy?
heard that my
He's an
illustrations were
alchemist.
sent to print as soon as they
But
arrived
does that
in
mean he's
Inazuma.
cheating? Let's not
I
tell
still
him
don't know
that.
how well they turned out.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions,
Compliment.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Speaking of which, Miko did mention.
Oh, right! The editors of the Yae Publishing House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few
It's
days.
nearby. You want me to take you there?
Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hirayama's over there too.
Alright, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will
No,
be
I'd rather
back
have her
soon.
with me in case she goes up around blowing someone up. I can at least teach her how to hide a corpse.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Ah, the death in her eyes still look the same. Adorable, eh? So, can I have the whole stock of this? Look at the bobblehead. You're not here about the Shogun statues? Alright, we just got so many queries. Damn. You're not here to buy anything, are you? Well, I came to look at her big head. They look the same, don't they?
Festivals always attract so many.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run. The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water. Hey, do you think that suspicious guy they found in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
Well, the editorial director is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
Sorry to interrupt, but
What's going on?
Oh, hey, Traveler. Don't worry. It's nothing, just an internal issue.
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama. Does anyone know where he is now?
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the Five Kasen for the festival?
I wonder why you went with the name Calyx, though. Sounds very specific.
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the Five Kasen. I do apologize, but please, make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association.
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Legend of Sword is a book written by Tincture, right? Or no?
Huh? How did you know?
You know, he's kind of weird like this.
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up. To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors,
I told you he's weird like
the only
this.
reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
He's mad now.
Well, I'm very sorry. Earlier today, someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around inside the Irodori Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou Commission.
It was your idea to leave Clea alone, Albedo.
The Tenryou Commission
It's not
was
Clea,
concerned
right?
about potential cargo
Or is it
theft,
someone
so
else?
they contacted everyone who was renting space in the warehouse. It was then that we realized that the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had suddenly gone missing.
what?
A book fanatic?
The books are missing.
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Irodori Festival, but the author, Chin-Yu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was related to that suspicious outlander.
Are you guys still running around Kazuha now? Is it suspicious Outlander Kazuha?
I see. It would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released on schedule. And quite a disappointment for Chin-Yu as well. If Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jay.
Chingshu.
Oh, do you know him?
We're friends.
Shincho would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing.
Sarah? Wendy? Wendy! It was you?
It's you!
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission, of course.
No, not you, Sarah. I'm
that
happy to see you
surprising?
again, but him.
Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, Tone-Deaf Bard. A suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Are you just drunk to the point you mistook the books for alcohol?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
As I've told you, you are a suspect.
Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again.
A lot of stress boiling in the Tincture Commission. She's finally letting it all out.
Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed
Well, I can't
bard
say he's
from
a complete
Mondstadt?
stranger, sadly.
Listen, Sarah. Knowing him,
Stowaway?
it's safe to say that he
Why do you just catch a riot on Devalid?
But what's this about being a stowaway?
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Irodori festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we
Did he
can
pawn it
only
off for another
suspect that he
bottle?
might have entered
Well,
the
knowing you, you
country
did that.
illegally.
Exactly that.
And just a moment ago, we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze.
Could I have this idiot to myself?
If it would help shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Thank you for trusting me, Sarah.
Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
I tried that actually, but it took me a whole Archon quest to finally walk around free, so go back and play the Archon quest.
Ouch! Your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares. You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard.
Similar means?
Let's not bring up the past now.
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally.
He definitely wouldn't allow the resistant army troops to enter Tenchukaku to help me in the end.
Ship as the other bards!
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake. And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryou Commission General glaring at me from atop the grate.
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable.
Wenti.
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the Yae Publishing House, and there are some questions I would like to ask you. Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me.
Who
a couple
goes around
of
stealing
times,
books in the festival
but I didn't
anyways?
consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
Oh, I seem to understand now.
It's not a person?
Huh? What did you notice, Albedo?
Talk to me, genius.
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that. As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
I see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding the stolen books.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar.
Ooh.
They had their sights on the books from the very beginning.
I didn't think about it like that.
Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse.
There must be more than
and might
one
even
criminal
have a key.
involved then.
I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort. It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
He's too stupid to try anything actually smart.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryou Commission will continue by investigating the warehouse staff. If you come across any further clues, please notify us immediately.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
You always speak too soon.
Not
Sarah.
so fast. Even
Thank
though
you.
we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Can I not see this idiot's face?
Sarah's quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry.
How could you lose something so important?
Why are you two always at each other's necks?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. but I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
To drink 2 bottles?
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt
I know this idiot too well.
Sake,
And I hate myself for that.
hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time. But surely I wouldn't put it in just any random place. It could easily be misplaced.
Maybe it's still in the same place you thought you kept it earlier, Wendy.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
Albedo, stop testing my IQ, alright? You know I'm insecure about it.
Paimon, do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
You go, Traveler. In a shoe? I mean, I'd keep it there. So I'm assuming you're a little smarter than me?
Ah, yes. I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
Wendy finds the invitation letter stuffed under his head.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now that we've confirmed this guest's identity, I have no further questions.
Sarah, wait till we figure out I'm a stowaway myself.
However, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving now.
Alright, I'll see you when they're gonna sell AIDS plushies.
There goes Sara. Alright, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference material.
Yeah, we still haven't caught the thief.
Mr. Hirayama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the Five Kasen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
About the Five Kasen, long ago there were 5 legendary poets in Inazuma, supremely gifted in music and writing. They were honored as the Five Kasen, meaning the 5 fairies of singing and poetry. It said that the shogun loved their works profoundly and that every year one of them would go to Tincture and present their new poetry collection to the shogun's pursuit. Now it's just a shitty fox. The 5 Kasen are known as Suikou, Aoi no Okina, Akahito, Sumizomi, Kuronoshi, Kuronoshi. I don't know the right Japanese pronunciation for it. If you guys know, let me know. I'd love to learn from you. But their real names were lost in history. According to the widely accepted theory, the tales of Five Kasen had once been repeatedly adapted and performed on stage, with the 5 characters each dressed in distinct color: green, blue, red, white, black. Kuronushi? Wait, Kuronushi? Wait. Isn't Balladeer, isn't Scaramouche also called Kuronoshi? Or is it some other way? I remember in Yae's voice line. Okay, I gotta check that later on.
Let's see here.
Was that a reference to
It's
Scaramouche?
just as I suspected. Monikers such as
Probably
Suikou
not.
and Aoi no Okina aren't the real names of the 5 Kasen, though there were once many stories regarding each of the 5 Kasen. The validity of their contents can no longer be verified in present times. Alas, what a shame. But at the very least, we know that most of the stories were written according to a similar style. So there is still something we may glean from this.
Stories do change into many different shapes and forms.
So, is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and fails to fulfill the most crucial element. Inspiration.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. However, it is not possible to gather anything more at the moment. Though Lady Yae did say that there are many variations of the story about the 5 Kasen, and everyone has a different story in their heart. So all you need to do is follow through with what's in your own heart, and create something that you yourself find interesting.
That does sound like something Miko would say.
Thank you, Mr. Hirayama. No need to worry. I'll find inspiration for the portraits.
Great. I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to ask of everyone. Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of Sword,
Tincture
will be arriving in Inazuma by boat. If you see him, please do not mention the stolen novels for the time being.
I got it.
You have my gratitude. I'll be going then.
Good luck finding that thief.
Well, seems there's nothing more we can do here. Let's go. Huh?
Yeah.
Auntie, what are you doing over there?
Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see.
So he was waiting for us, huh? How's it going, Archon 1, Archon 2 here? Did the thief leave something behind?
Piece of paper.
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. I didn't think much of it then, I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby. But on second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
The Five Kasen splendor Suikou, mine dwelling far from the wider world, for my fame my peace was disturbed. In blue cloud I went to Tenshikaku to present our work, but always work was missing a page. I knelt and begged for divine wrath to be still, and I told what I knew of how it was lost. The previous night I'd been drunk, then a person's shadow had passed over me. Some treacherous scoundrel must have stolen the poem, leading to my great loss of the face. Suikou.
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suikou getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen. This story sounds familiar.
Your story?
To my...
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced yesterday!
It almost seems related to the stolen novels.
Yes, I concur. The person who left
I
this
concur
paper
back.
could quite possibly be the criminal, or even a witness to the theft. But why leave the paper here in such a fashion? And if the one who left it here was a witness, why didn't they attempt to stop the burglary?
This is getting more and more interesting.
Alright, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
You sure you're ready to chew down some sake, Wendy? It's not your average dandelion wine.
Hey! You just sobered up and let's not forget that Albedo still has a portrait to complete.
But I want to get wasted with Wendy though.
Let's all go for a drink together. It'll be my treat.
Albedo, my guy.
What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly once I'm inspired. And now, it seems I've found my source of inspiration. If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes.
Ooh, restaurant, let's go.
One year, the poet Suikou made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suikou was questioned regarding the matter. Suikou pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was
A
intoxicated.
shadow. Not bad, Albedo.
Came through, Albedo.
Holy
You were able to
shit.
complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Yes, it really is a sight to behold. Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern aesthetics. My figure is particularly striking, even though I'm sound
And very
asleep in the
distinctly
portrait, I
rememberable.
still appear as glorious as always.
Hey, don't get too full of yourself, Tone Deaf Bard. Well, Albedo, who will be your next portrait?
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the Five Kasen.
Can't wait to see what you're gonna come up with next, Albedo.
Albedo, might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one? Who knows? You might soon discover another story.
Another story?
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the Five Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given, we've only found the first of a total of 4 chapters.
You think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
It certainly is a possibility. Also, there are some points regarding the stories of the Five Kasen that have left me rather
I'm
curious.
very interested in the last person. Like, it's so vague, the guy's
For
story.
example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary figures, yet all the popular stories
Oh
only
yeah,
consist
holy
of
shit,
4 parts.
That's true.
It appears that throughout all the stories, there is never a chapter
The guy I was
dedicated
talking
to
about,
Kuronushi.
Kuronushi. Was he like the person who was, condemned or something?
Yes, I'm also curious about these stories myself. But
They are
who
just
knows?
stories,
They
right?
may merely be akin to the old saying in Mondstadt. Seeds of stories brought by the wind and cultivated by time.
Minty, you're really teasing your Story Quest Act 2, aren't you?
So for now, we need but just wait patiently.
Alright.